Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And some people were saying on the comments earlier in the week, is this Dutch week on the channel? Because we'd featured the great masters Codec and Aard van der Wetering, and also a debut for Sander Moelenbeek. So it seemed a quite Dutch week already, and now we're going to cap it off with a trio of Dutchmen contributing to this puzzle. This has been recommended by a lot of people, and it's got Dutch whispers in it too. So we'll get to the rules in a minute. Now, I do want to mention the Alice in Sudoku Land hunt on Patreon. It's brilliant. We've got so many correct entries in already. Thank you so much, everybody who clearly puts aside the first day or two of the month to really crack on with our Patreon reward. That's exactly how we like it. We like it when you can do it, and this one seems very doable. Do check it out. Japanese Sam Sudoku by Panthera Montinox and the Asylum, aka the Paint by Numbers Institute. It is great fun. Lots of pictures, lots of poems, lots of Sudoku, lots of joy. And we recommend it. Thank you so much to everybody who does support us on Patreon. It's really appreciated. Also, if you subscribe to the channel, which we don't mention very often, quite a lot of people watch the videos without having subscribed, and we don't understand that. Just click subscribe. You'll love it. And you're very welcome if you're watching Variant Sudoku for the first time. I'll go through the rules again, as I said I'll go through the rules in a minute. The other links, apart from to Patreon under the video, are to our apps, which are also excellent, to our merchandise, which is less excellent, and to, because we designed it ourselves, and to things like the catalogue of our videos and the Discord server, and to Sven's Sudoku pad, which is excellent. So do check all of those out. But the first link under this video is to this puzzle. Now, it's called Das Boot because we very clearly see a submarine in the video, I think. Well, I was going to say surfacing. A submarine at a 45-degree angle, which can never be good for a submarine, I suspect. It's a long time since I was a naval cadet, but I'm still confident about that. Now, Das Boot was a film, a German film about a U-boat crew during the end of the war, and a subsequent TV series as well. So I think it's appropriate that we have German whispers in this puzzle, as well as Dutch whispers for the authors, who are Dying Flatchman, Mr. Menace, and Piotr V, three of the greatest contributors to our Discord server, and three of the greatest minds making Sudokus who have somehow collaborated together on this puzzle, and really looking forward to trying it. So I'm going to go through the rules now. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So we get to put 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, and that's great. Neighbouring digits along a green line, these are German whisper lines, differ by at least 5. So you could put 1 and 9 in there, or you could put 1 and 6. The difference is still at least 5, but no to 3 and 7. You can't put them there. Now, on the Dutch whisper lines, which are orange, the neighbours have a difference of at least 4, which is only one different, but has some absolutely funky different applications. Now you can put 3 and 7 on there, but not, say, 4 and 7. So it's a slightly different restriction. The digits in the indicated cage, we get 1 of them, how kind, some to 18, and that's all we need to get a unique solution extraordinarily to this beautiful submarine, Das Boot. So give it a try on the link under the video, and I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So there are some things we know about German whisper lines. And, well, some of them translate to Dutch whisper lines a bit. So I'm going to explain, first of all, 3 things I know and like about German whisper lines. Firstly, and I'm looking at this you, Mr. Long One, first. 5 can never appear on a German whisper line, and it's obvious why if you think about it. It can't have a valid neighbour, because the digits 1 to 9 do not include any number that has a difference of 5 with 5. You couldn't even put another 5 there because the difference would be 0. So 5s aren't on the green lines. Now, the corollary to that is that the polarities, by which I mean the height or lowness of the numbers, alternate along the line. And that means once 5 isn't on the line, all the numbers on the line are either lower than 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or higher than 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, to maintain this difference of 5, they are going to have to alternate as you go along a line. So I've marked the longest line. And I don't know whether green is low and purple high or vice versa, but I know that one of those is true. And sometimes this helps, possibly less in this puzzle than normal. The third thing I was going to mention, and I always do, is that 4 and 6 are the most difficult numbers to place. They're kind of the most internal digits from the numbers that can go on German whisper lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. The internal ones are 4 and 6. The reason that they're special is they only have one possible neighbour. 4, let's just imagine I wanted to put a 4 there. The only neighbour it can have on the line is a 9, because that's the only Sudoku digit that's 5 away. Now this 4 needs another neighbour there, and suddenly you've got 2 9s in the same box, and that means you couldn't put a 4 or a 6 in that position. Unfortunately, with diagonal lines, these are less helpful than usual because the neighbours don't have to see each other so much, as it were. So I think only those 2 cells on this line have that restriction. Now, how do these restrictions translate onto orange Dutch whisper lines? Well, 5, sadly 5 is allowed, or perhaps happily 5 is allowed on a Dutch whisper line, but it can only go next to 1 or 9. So that's possible. However, 5 acts very interestingly because of the alternation rule, the polarity alternation. Say you had started this line quite happily with high digits here, 8, then low, 1, then, oh no, I'm not doing this very skillfully, but let's say 7, 1, 8, 2. So you're alternating happily, high digits. Then you get to this one, and that has to be high because of that 2. But now, if you hit a 5, it changes the polarity alternation. Actually, let's make those 9 and 3 there. It changes the polarity alternation because now you'd have to have a 1 after it if its neighbours see each other and if the line continued up there. So, sorry, this has been a very ham-fisted way of explaining that you can change polarity alternation along the orange lines, but only by going through a 5. And I will add at this point that 5 does not have to change the polarity alternation. If you had a 5 on this diagonal line, those 2 could both be 1s and polarity would again seem to be alternating. But there we go. So those are the rules I know, and that was a long load of bump to get there, sorry. And I don't know how it helps with this puzzle. I haven't really seen, even while I've been talking, anything that gets much done. Okay, let's think about the 18 cage maybe. Now, can it have a 5? Okay, what about this digit that's in the middle of this orange line in the 18 cage? That can't be a 5 because the ends of the line would have to be 1 and 9. 1 plus 5 plus 9 adds up to 15, not 18. So this is not a 5, so it's either high or low. Now, can we work out what it is? If it is high, oh, it's a Dutch whisper line, so we have the rule of 4 operating. Oh, bother, it can still be high. If that was a 9, this would be a 4-5 pair. If that was an 8, you couldn't use a 5 on the line, you'd never get to 18. So there is a possibility for that cell to be a 9. Now, annoyingly, I think that's the only high possibility with a 4-5 pair there. If this was low, though, it could be a 1 with a 9-8 there, or a 2 with a 9-7 here. And it can be 3 as well. 7 and 8 add up to the right number and are distant enough from 3 to be allowed on the line. I don't think it can be a 4, at least, because then these would be an 8-9 pair and by the whisper rule, and that would make the cage add up to 21, which is ridiculous. So it's annoying it can be a 3, and that cell has got 4 possibilities. Then, oh, there's, I don't know. I wonder if there's a way of ruling 9 out. Oh, look, column 7 has 6 cells on green lines, which cannot be 5. So 5's in one of those. Now, can 5 be on this conning tower bit of the submarine, on the diamond bit? No, it can't. Oh, that's beautiful. Look, imagine there was a 5 there. It's neighbours. It has possible neighbours on an orange line. That is allowed, but it only has 1 and 9. And these two see each other, so they would both be 1 and 9. Now, what neighbour can they have on the orange line? Only 5 to share between them. And that puts 5s in impossible positions. And I am pretty sure that this applies all around this diamond. It's nothing to do with where it sits in the box junction. It's just because of the shape of the diamond. You cannot have a 5 on it. And that's quite interesting. So all of those cells are not 5. And now the only cell in this column that can be 5 is right here. Aha! We have a digit. And unsurprisingly, that's the only cell in the row that's not on a line. I mean, these two could have been 5, but now they can't be. I don't know. I'm kind of colouring every cell that can't be a 5 with a green-purple flash. No, I'm going to stop doing that. I don't think it's actually helpful to me, so forget that. But, hang on though. This is quite interesting. Yes, I've got something really big in this column, I think. I don't know. This isn't going to tell me which of green or purple is high or low, but it is going to tell me something. Sorry, I'm being very, very mysterious here. It's about these 2 digits to start with, and it's also about those 2. These 2, let's do that first. These 2 are different polarities. Now, I know that because this is a 4-cell line. If that's low, this is high, that's low, this is high. Remember, this is a green line. Polarity alternation must happen. And these 2 must end up being different. In fact, that's one of each. Maybe I'll happily mark a domino with the flashes, because that's one of each. Now, these 2, are they the same or are they different, or do we not know? Well, we do know, because now we can't put a 5 on this conning tower. It must alternate in polarity all the way round. Must do. And therefore these 2 are the same as each other. And look, if we made them purple, what goes wrong? 2 purples in this column, a 3rd there, and one of this bottom domino must be purple. Now we've got 4 purples used up. You're allowed 4, but we've still got this line at the top to deal with. How are we going to get a purple onto that? Can't do it. So they are not purple. They are green. These 2 are purple. That's going to help in the row. Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So in the column, first of all, we've got 2 green and 1 there. That's 3 green. We're only allowed 1 green for this segment. So we get green in the middle and purples around it. And we're colouring now. In this row, we've got 3 purples. So we're only allowed 1 purple for this line. So it has to go in the middle. Everything else in the row that is not a 5 is green. This cell is purple because it either exhibits parity alternation or it's a 5. Yes, this is quite a good way of looking at these orange lines, is you can't connect green to green or purple to purple on them. You can go through 5, but 5 is white in my scheme. Maybe I should give 5 a colour. No, it doesn't matter. 5 is white. Right. So, this can still be 594, but the 5 has to be there. This could be a 5. That can still be a 5, even though it clearly doesn't break up the polarity alternation on this line. It could be a 5 surrounded by 1s on the line, or 9s. Okay, well, we've made some progress. I've coloured every cell on... Well, I'm going to colour that domino as well. I've coloured every cell on a green line with something now. Now this one, oh, we now know this is purple because it can't be green. Now this can't be purple. Oh look, this can't be purple either. Neither of these two can be purple because they are next to a purple on an orange line. And that's the rule I've just created or stated. And if they can't be purple, but we do need a fourth purple in the box, it's there. Now I don't know. One of these is green and one of them is not. One of them is 5 and the other is green. Let's put it that way. Oh, this is clever. What's that? I've got 3 purples in this column now because one of those is purple. I don't know how I'm ever going to disambiguate the colours there, but anyway. Right, so this is either the 4th green or a 5. And if it's a 5, this box goes 5, 9, 4. So if that's green and this goes 5, 9, 4, green is low. I don't know. Is that all right? Oh, okay. Now, I did that nonsense about internal digits earlier, and maybe there is a point to it. Neither of these 2 purples in row 5 can be 4 or 6 because their neighbours see each other. So one of these 2 is an internal digit. Now I don't know how to pencil mark this. One of these 2 is a 4 or a 6. Ah, that's really important when you apply it to these greens. Because 4 or 6 are allowed on the Dutch whisper lines, these internal digits, but only by being next to, that they have 2 possibilities for what they're next to, and those are, in the case of 4, this would be 8 and 9, but if one of those is 6, this would be 1 or 2. So these are extreme digits. They're a pair of extremes, either 1, 2 or 8, 9, and this is the same colour. And this can't be 4 or 6 because of its position with neighbours seeing each other. So this is 3 or 7 in green. 4 or 6 is down here, which is interesting because it puts an extreme digit here. 3 or 7, though, has to be if that was 3, it has to be surrounded by 8, 9. If it's a 7, it has to be surrounded by 1, 2. So we've got the purple extreme digits in this column there, the green extreme digits there, a quadruple of 1, 2, 8, 9, therefore, and these cells come from 3, 4, 6, and 7. Now, 3, 4, 6, and 7 cannot be next to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 on green lines. So these are from 1, 2, 8, and 9. These 2 on the same, well, on a different green line, but also next to a 3, 4, 6, or 7, are more extreme. I don't want to pencil mark everything. And I've been thinking about going to placeholding and putting in, say, well, assuming that I could assume that purple was low, say, and that there's a 4 in one of these cells, which would definitely make these 8, 9, and that would become a definite 7. And I could do that and then be ready that if it turned out it was wrong, I could subtract every digit in the grid from 10, and the 7 would become a 3 and greens would become lows. It's just a bit of a kludgy method. I don't like doing it if I don't have to. I've just worked out that the 18 cage exists for a very specific reason in this puzzle in a way, and that is if there wasn't a number in this cage, the puzzle would definitely have at least 2 solutions, because whatever the correct solution is, you could subtract every digit in the puzzle from 10, and that would be another possible solution. You could just reverse everything effectively. And it must be, I think, the 18 cage that's going to stop that happening, and I don't know how yet. But let's just keep going a bit if I can. I don't quite know what to do though. This cell is not extreme because it's green. It's either seeing a 1-2 pair or an 8-9. So that's one of the lower ones. That makes this a more extreme digit. Nearly got a quadruple there. Doesn't stop this being a 5. I don't want to pencil mark these with the full 6 digits they can be. Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 or 9 in those cells. They can't be the 4 or 6 because their neighbours see each other. What about these? Don't know. Now, I want... The thing that can stop me using placeholder markings, which I don't like doing, is if I can now use this 18 gauge to work out the polarity, to work out whether purple is high and green is low or the other way around. But how? How do I use it? See, I think it still works for purple to be high. Then you have 5, 9, 4. That makes the 18. That's the only way to do it if purple is high. Then these become a 6, 7, 8 triple. Now the other way round, this is low, and this can't be 5, so this becomes green. And these are from 7, 8, 9, if that's 1, 2 or 3. So that's a triple. Then you get 6 here. If green is high, that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. This is 5, and that's 6. And both of these cells have to be 1. Oh, that's unbelievable. Is this right? I think this is right. If purple is low, so this is 1, 2, 3, then this can't be a 5, because 5, 1, 12 is not allowed. So this would, yes, if purple is low, this is green. And I think we've worked out that a 3 goes with 8, 7 here, a 2 goes with 9, 7, and a 1 goes with 9, 8. These are always from 9, well, I know this actually. These are either from 9, 8, 7, or that's the 4 and that's the 5, if it's the other way around. Anyway, if green is high, this is a 9, 8, 7 triple, and that's 6, and that's 5, and both of those on their different lines need to neighbour a 1 that's for purple to be low. And this all proves that purple is not low. That's absolutely incredible. I have no doubt that is the intended break-in, as it were, because it's so beautiful. It's so clever. It's brilliant. Anyway, that all proves purple is not low. Purple is high. This is a 9. Oh, well, let's colour purple. What is high colour? Orange. And green can go blue. And then now they resemble more a thermometer, where blue is the shivery cold. So, purple, forget purple. There is no purple. Orange is high. So that's a 7 or an 8. Orange is high. So that's an 8, 9 pair. That is a 3. That's the only thing it can be. We've got another digit. That's a 4, 6, 7 triple. This is high though, so that's 6 or 7. These are low, so they're not 8 or 9. These are low, so they're not 8 or 9. That's low, so it's not 6 or 7. That's not 1 or 2 now by sudoku. This is high. This is low. Can't be 3, so it is 1 or 2. Oh, this 9, that must go with 4 and 5. They're basically given now. So this is low, not a 5. Low. From 1, 2, 3, and forming a triple. And a triple in the box. So these are from 6, 7, 8, and definitely include a 6. Now, 4 is one of these, so 9 is one of these, and therefore 8 isn't. There is a 9 there. In this row, I don't know what this is. One of these two is a 6, I know that. I don't know what digit goes there. This, oh, 4 is looking at that. That's a 3. This is a 1-2 pair, which gives maximum freedom to that cell. Oh, this is brilliant. Right, 3 by Sudoku. Where does 3 go in column 8? It's got to be there, and that's on the whisper line. It's got to be next to orange, can't be next to 5. 5 could still go there with 1s. Ah, no, no, no. Look, we've got parity alternation to resolve here. Those oranges are messing up the parity, so 5 has to be here. And in fact, 9, 5 and 1 have to all be here somewhere. Well, that's high. Where does 1 go? It goes in these cells. 1 and 5 there with 9 on one end or the other. That's a 1-5 pair, so this becomes a 2. That's brilliant. Oh, this is brilliant. That makes this a 7. It doesn't fix that cell, which can still be 1 or 2. I do sometimes get a bit ahead of myself. Now, this is now a 4-6 pair, so they must be next to 1, 9, and that makes this a 2. This is lovely. 1 there, 2 there. This is now a 1-3 pair. I was going to say whatever is a 3 needs an 8 there. That's not true. If that's a 3, it could have a 7 here. That 1-5 pair, that is extraordinary. Oh, this is an 8-9 pair, so they're definitely both orange. 5 is, yeah, 5 is coloured. 8, 9, 2, 1, 3. This is 4, 6 or 7. It can't be the 5 or the 1. I don't know what colour that is, do I? Oh, I've got a 9 looking at that cell. That's an 8. That makes this the 9, and then I can do the 5 and the 1, because the 9 must be next to the 5, I believe. I haven't got this wrong, have I? I don't know. It feels right to me. I'm going to carry on as though it is. That's become an 8. That's not an 8. This now, oh, don't know. I've got 2, 4, 6 and 7 to place in the column. 2, 5, 1, 3, 8. That is 4, 6 or 7. These are not helpful pencil markings. This is not 5, and it's not allowed to be blue, so it's orange. It's not 5 because of that 5. This, however, could be 5. It's just not allowed to be orange. I'm going to pencil mark it 1, 2, 4 or 5 just to remind myself what's going on. Now, these are from 3, 4, 6, 7. That doesn't tell me the colour on this line. Oh, I tell you what it does tell me is that there is no 5 anywhere on this line, because that can't sit next to a 5, whatever it is, even on a Dutch whisper line. I'm going to bother to pencil mark that. 2, 3, 4, 6 or 9. These can't be 5s because of that. That's how I know this. Right. Okay, well that was good progress. Now I'm a bit stuck. Actually, there are other things that can't be next to... I don't think this can be 4 or 6. Because none of 3, 4, 6 or 7 can be next to 4 or 6 on a Dutch whisper line. So it could be 7, 3, 9 could go with 3 or 4, 2 could go with 6 or 7. It's not helping me decide the polarity there. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Come on, let's keep going. This is such a clever puzzle. I love it. It's really interesting. You can see why people recommend puzzles like this. Now, this can't be a 6, a 2, a 1 or a 9, or a 7 or 8. That is 3, 4 or 5. It can't be 5, because this cell can't be 1 or 9, because they're in those. So that is 3 or 4, which is a low, and this is high, and can't be 9. It's only a Dutch line, so that is 7 or 8, I reckon, which is a pair with that. So the highest this can be is 6. And it can't be 6. I'm pretty sure that's true. If this was a 6, that would have to be 1 or 2, but we've got 2 there and a 1 in that pair. So that can't be 6. It also can't be 5 because we've got a 1-9 pair and that's all that 5 can neighbour. So this has become low. And that is high, well, high or 5. Not 9, not 6, because they're represented in the column somewhere. That's so weird. Can't quite colour it yet, although I suspect it's high. Well, hang on. If it is high, that's a 6, 7, 8 triple. And these are from 3, 4, 5. In fact, no. There is a 5 somewhere up here in this column. So there is a 5 in one of these 2 cells. So all of these and these are all coloured in some way, but I don't really know much about the colouring. Oh, come on though. This is such an interesting puzzle. Oh my goodness. No, I was just about to conclude that can't be 1, but which is not a brilliant deduction because it's absolute nonsense. It's a high digit. Of course it can't be 1. Come on, Mark. Think about things. 8, 9. One of these 2 is a 9. I don't know which one. Oh, now I'm getting stuck. That's so... I thought I'd done all the good breakthroughs, but there's more to do. There's more to do in this puzzle. Remember, it's a journey to the edge of the mind. Oh, I don't know much about this middle row, do I? That's very irritating. I feel like I've done a lot of the heavy lifting here, but there's still more to do. Now, if that was a 5, if it's not a 5, it's part of a 1, 2, 4 triple, which is interesting. If it's a 5, these are both 9s. That won't work because they won't allow these 2 to have a 9 on. That's lovely. So it's not a 5. Okay, one of these 2, it's now a 1, 2, 4 triple, isn't it? And one of those 2 is a 4. Oh, I was going to say that's going to need an 8 in these cells, but it's not. It's going to need either an 8 or a 9. That's quite interesting from this point of view. One of those is 8 or 9, so is that. That's going to use up the 8 and 9 in this row and mean this can't be 8 or 9. So that is 6 or 7, which unfortunately doesn't. Yes, it does. It stops this being a 3. It does allow that because this is a green whisper line. This can't be a 3 because it could never be 5 away from that. So that's a 1. That's how we get that. Isn't that gorgeous? The only answer allowed is yes. This is now not a 6. This is a 6. This is a 7, 8 pair. So that's a 9. This is a 6. We knew we had to have a 6 on this conning tower and we found it. Now we can place 9. I can colour that. That 1, 2, 4 triple stops this being 2 or 4 and makes it high. In fact, I've got all the low digits in this row. So anything that's not a 5 is high, which is not many. Now, this 3 on the whisper line, Dutch line, is next to 7, 8 or 9, which is a disappointing heavy group. I mean, a lot of digits. Now, this can't be 6. Yes, it could. It would be next to 1 and 2. It can be 6. It can't be actually 9 now because we've placed this. Oh, look, I've had this 9 looking at that cell forever. Oh. Now I'm in the wrong mode. Honestly, things are suddenly going badly wrong. Those 4 and 1, they become blue. These become orange, 6 and 9. Probably doesn't do very much, but it's nice to get it cleared up. Like a nasty rash. Now, these two are going to be the same polarity because that must be different from them, and there's no 5s on this line. What polarity are they? They could both be orange, and that would make 4 oranges in the row. And they could both be blue, and there'd be 1 and 3 then specifically. And in fact, we'd know the order, 1 there and 3 there. Otherwise, they come from 6, 7, 8. It doesn't really get anything done. It makes this pair the same polarity, and I don't see how that helps me. What about this cell? It sees 1, 2, 3, 4 in the row. It sees 9, 6 in the column. So it's 5, 7 or 8, and that's a triple, and this is low and is 3 or 4. And it's a sort of deduction that just doesn't get anything done. We've got this 7, 8 pair that I've never used in this column. And I'm still not using it now. Now, come on, what about this business of one of these being a 4? If that's a 4, that's an 8. Then we get 9, 8, 9. And if that's a 4, that's an 8. And it's the, and this, no, this is not impossible. 9, 8, 6 or 7, and then that doesn't have to be a 4. Bother. Oh, hang on. If that's a 4, what's happening on these lines? If that's a 4, that's a 3. So then both of these are 4, both of these are 8, and you can't put an 8 in the central box. Oh, magnificent again. Again, that's magnificent. So that's not a 4. That's 1 or 2. This is a 4, and that's going to help us. Now we get 8 here. We get the 9 and 8 sorted. This cannot be 8. This cannot be 8, and it can't be 7 on the whisper line, so it's 9. That's right. I think I'd worked out that was coming, and I still had to do it all again. We've got this 1, 2 pair, can't use it. That could be 1, 5. It couldn't go 2, 5. That's 6, 7 or 8. I don't know. Don't know what to do next. 8 in the central box, in box 2 rather, is in one of those cells. I haven't found out what that is. That wasn't part of this. This is weird. Okay, 3 though can't be in any of those cells. So 3 is in one of those 2 in box 2, and one of those 2 in box 3. 9, 1, 4, 5. So we need, what else? Still more deductions to do. What a puzzle this is. This madness, isn't it? These are from 1, 4, 5, 7. That one can't be 1 or 4 because of the row which has its 1, 2, 3, 4. That 1, 2 pair. Well, interesting. Surely one of these has to be a 7. If that's a 2, this can't be 5. And if that's a 2, this must be 7. So one of those is a 7. That's one of the weirder X-Wings I've ever seen. Or, I don't know, remote pair or something. So those don't have a 7 in, and that didn't really help. But it's very interesting and slightly spooky. What about 5s? Have I been thinking enough about 5s? Probably never do. I don't know. These cells are from 4, 5, 7, 8. That one can't be 4, that one can't be 8. This is verging on the dull. I need to find something else out about this puzzle. Now, this could have been a 3, 1 pair. Okay, things happen if that's a 3, 1 pair. That becomes a 2, that becomes a 7, this becomes a 5, that becomes a 1. There's quite a lot of ramifications. This is 4. I don't think they impact on each other. Oh, I'm probably missing some basic whisper rule somewhere. Come on, find it. Sorry, you're going to have to shout louder because I can't hear what basic information I'm not spotting. That is 2, 3, or 6. Oh, this can't be 8. That's quite basic information. Now, if that's high, it's 9. That's 1, that's 3. I feel like that's the unlikely route, but it's a bit hard to... Oh, 9 is in one of those two cells, though, so maybe it's at least 50-50. Oh, 9 is there. It's Sudoku on 9s. I didn't hear you shouting that. So we get 9s in those positions. Now we know the polarity here. That's a 1 and is low. That's a 3 is the other low. That is 3 or 4 and is also low. This, we have 6, 7 and 8 to place in the row. One of those two is a 6. That's not interesting. This can't... 3 is looking at that cell. 4 there. The whisper sorts that out. 8 makes 7 and 8 in the centre. We've now got a 5, 7 pair here and a 3 at the top of the grid. That's not possibly a 3. This can't be 7 anymore. Hasn't resolved this at all. Never mind. 9, 1, 4, 5, 3. 8 in this column has to be there. Yes. Ooh, 5, 7 pair in the row. Good to spot. So we get a 6. Still don't know which of those is a 3. I'm sure there's Sudoku to be done now. 1, 4, 9, 8, 3, 7 here. And that can go orange. Those are from 2, 5, 6. So 4 in the column has to be in one of those two. That is 2 or 6, which is a weird collocation. 4, 3, 8, 9, 7, 1. One of these must be done, mustn't it? That's 2 or 5. No, I don't think so. Oh, we can take 8 out of those cells. Now I've got a 6, 7 pair in this column. So that's giving me a 3, 4 pair in this box. That's high. 6, 7 pair in column 1. Where are the 6 and 7 in column 2? I think they're going to have to be here, because they can't be in this box. Yes. And that I know which they are then. 6 and 7, thanks to my stunning pencil marking. So they can get oranged or orangified. Now I can 6 and 7ify various cells. That becomes a 5, that's a 7, that's a 5. 7 is orangified. Those can't have a 5 in. Those have gone low. They're the only options. In fact, everything in this row is low that isn't already numbered. 3 in the row has to be there. I'm going to finish off now, I think. This is very exciting. That 4 sees the 3, 4 pair. That's not a 4, so there's a 5, 8 pair, that's a 4. That's 7. That's 2. That's 7 in the corner. That's low along with that. That's high. Might as well keep the colouring going just to enjoy myself. 5 must be next to 1 on the line. Oh, there was still one more Dutch whisper to notice, and I did notice it. I'm not at all unhappy about that. 1, 5 pair at the top. They can't be done yet. That's weird. That is a naked 5. Lovely. So 2 there. 5 and 6. There's some colouring still to do. I know that. That column's worked. 1 and 2. That sorts out 5 and 1. That sorts out 5 and 8. 6 and 2 are done. I will leave one number in the corner while I finish off the colouring with remaining 6, 7s and 8s going orange, remaining 1, 2s and 3s going blue. This one in the corner is orange, and it must be a 4 to finish the puzzle. No, it's not orange. It is not orange. It's blue. That's better. 4. There we go. What a fantastic exercise. That's a really clever puzzle. Thank you so much to the Dutchman there. And thank you to the people who recommended that, including one yesterday. That was, yeah, that is a real experience, that puzzle. I'm delighted to have done it. I know I was missing some stuff, but probably not too much as it goes. Really excellent stuff. So thank you very much for watching us on the channel. As always, do try some variant Sudoku. Subscribe, patronise us on Patreon, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more Sudoku fun. Bye for now.